President Bush moved to ICU, Mrs. Bush also hospitalized. Houston, former President George H.W. Bush is still intubated in the intensive care unit at Houston Methodist Hospital as of Wednesday evening. Bush, 92, was moved to ICU Wednesday morning to address an acute respiratory problem stemming from pneumonia. The former president had to have a procedure to protect and clear his airway, said spokesman Jim McGrath. It required sedation and was the first time the president had ever been intubated. McGrath said the procedure was a success and the former president is stable and resting comfortably in the ICU, where he will remain for observation. "We know he has a lot of prayers and good wishes coming his way and he'll take everything he can get," McGrath said. Bush, 41, was initially admitted to Methodist in the Texas Medical Center on Saturday for shortness of breath. McGrath said he's confident Bush will rally, as he has done in the past. "There's not a lot of money to be made betting against George Bush. You can't keep a good man down and he's the epitome of that," he said. "It's a serious situation, he's 92, he's got pneumonia, he's in the ICU. But again, you don't vote against George Bush." Mrs. Bush was also hospitalized at Methodist precaution after experiencing fatigue and coughing. McGrath said she hadn't been feeling well for the last week. The former First Lady had to wait for floodwaters to recede before she went to the hospital. "Doctors want to see how the former First Lady responds to treatment before allowing her to return home," he said. Physicians initially believed the former president would be released later this week following several days of treatment, but his stay has been extended, McGrath said. "There is no timetable for his release. We're in a wait-and-see mode," McGrath said. "We are not really talking about discharge right now. They'll get out when they get better. We don't want them coming out a day sooner. We want them there to get better, to get their strength back," said McGrath. Neil Bush, their son who lives in town, has been to visit. President Bush's condition was looking so good earlier this week, his son Jeb, who was teaching at Texas A&M, decided to return to Florida. Bush, who served as president from 1989 to 1993, has a form of Parkinson's disease and uses a motorized scooter or a wheelchair for mobility. He was hospitalized in 2015 in Maine after falling at his summer home and breaking a bone in his neck. He was also hospitalized in Houston the previous December for about a week for shortness of breath. He spent Christmas 2012 in intensive care for a bronchitis-related cough and other issues. Despite his loss of mobility, Bush celebrated his 90th birthday by making a tandem parachute jump in Kennebunkport, Maine. Last summer, Bush led a group of 40 wounded warriors on a fishing trip at the helm of his speedboat, 3 days after his 92nd birthday celebration. Bush's office announced earlier this month that the couple would not attend Donald Trump's inauguration because of the former president's age and health. "My doctor says if I sit outside in January, it likely will put me 6 feet under. Same for Barbara. So I guess we're stuck in Texas," Bush wrote in a letter to Trump. His son George W. Bush, the 43rd president, still expects to attend the inauguration and does not plan to travel to Houston, spokesman Freddie Ford said. George Herbert Walker Bush, born June 12, 1924, in Milton, Massachusetts, also served as a congressman, CIA director and Ronald Reagan's vice president. George W. Bush was elected president in 2000 and served 2 terms. Another son, Jeb, served as Florida governor and made an unsuccessful bid for the GOP nomination in 2016. Only one other U.S. president, John Adams, had a son who also became president. The Bushes, who were married January 6, 1945, have had the longest marriage of any presidential couple in American history. At the time of their wedding, he was a young naval aviator. She had been a student at Smith College. After World War II, the pair moved to the Texas oil patch to seek their fortune and raise a family. It was there that George Bush began his political career, representing Houston for 2 terms in Congress in the late 1960s and early 1970s. All 5 of the couple's children have checked in and are keeping close tabs on how their parents are doing. Neil Bush has visited his dad in the hospital. President-elect Trump tweeted well wishes to the Bushes. Looking forward to a speedy recovery for George and Barbara Bush, both hospitalized. Thank you for your wonderful letter, Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, January 18, 2017. President Obama praised the Bushes in his final press conference Wednesday afternoon. They are as fine a couple as we know, and so we want to send our prayers, Obama said. President Bill Clinton also sent his best wishes. 41 and Barbara, thinking about you both and sending wishes for a speedy recovery. Love, 42, Bill Clinton, at Bill Clinton, January 18, 2017. Bush is the oldest living former U.S. president.